Well, welcome to the Metrodome. This is Don Hanson along with John Heitz and Mark Schramm. We're here for HCBN Channel 10 Hutchinson to bring you McLeod West Falcons in their game today against the Goodhue Wildcats. This is semifinal action in the Class 1A state tournament. John, should be a good game, don't you think?
It certainly should. Goodhue coming in with a 10-2 record, but those two losses were to teams in a class or two above them. So obviously to get here to this point, you're a pretty good ball club. It should be a very good ball game, Don. Yeah,
right, and sounds like a lot of defense from their side, especially like you said later in the season after they gave up 41 points in one game. They only gave up one touchdown per game afterwards. All right, opening kickoff is a squibber. Didn't get a good piece of that one, the kicker. And it rolls out of bounds on the 35-yard line, and so McLeod West will have their choice, either taking it where it went out of bounds on the 34 or on the 35 with the automatic spot for the illegal procedure, kicking it out of bounds.
I'm sorry, Don, I would guess that Goodhue, looking at the tapes, has probably seen Picata or Evans run back the ball, and they're going to be pretty content to kick it to the side and don't give those guys a shot to run it.
Right. Well, I'm sure they've read all about Tyler Evans' statistics. We'll see a lot of him. Of course, a lot of the people in the state were glad that the Falcons qualified for state tournament action in the Dome, because a lot of people want to see this 7,000-yard rusher, and there's his first crack at it, running straight ahead, and he piles in and picks up pretty good yardage right off the bat for the Falcons as he takes the ball out over the 41-yard line. Give him 6 yards on his first carry of the game. He carried it 57 times in one of the games, right, recently?
Yes, he did. He went over 400 yards a couple of times, and they've got a 350-pound lineman on the line, Benson. They like to run behind.
Okay. Second about 4, again, Evans go off tackle. This time he's stopped by, nice tackle over there by number 5 of the Wildcats. That's Chet Lexvold, two-way player for them. And he only gets about, a long 1 on the play, and it's going to bring up third down about 2 for McLeod West.
What I noticed about McLeod West, Don, not only if Evans doesn't get the ball, you have to watch Strand. He can pick it up and he can move too. He's a quick quarterback.
Okay, they come back to Evans, and Evans, their bread and butter man, gets it out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. And that's going to be the initial first down of the game for the Falcons, as they went right inside behind the big tackle, as you said, Benson. But they do have good size along the line. Reggie Bosick is also a 265 guard on one side. So they try and play smash mouth football a lot of the time, I'd say.
Yeah, with those big guys up front, no surprise, and Evans in the backfield.
Okay, here they go on a little crossbuck this time as they come back on a counter. They hand the ball to, the numbers are very difficult to read, but I think that was...
I think it was the fullback down, Jeremy Gettle.
Okay.
He's a senior.
Yep. He's got good speed. Yep, that was Gettle.
They list Gettle at 207 pounds. He's a well put together kid. He wrestles at about 185 or so. He's a pretty tough kid as well.
Okay. All right, so it brings up 2nd and 8. Right at midfield, there's the fake by Strand. Strand running a bootleg. He gets across the 50. He's turning it down the sideline. Wisely steps out of bounds after getting a first down. He takes it down to the 38-yard line of Goodhue. So that's a first down, second one of the game for the Falcons.
Downey made a profit of me. I told you once he gets outside, I was impressed with the kid's ability to run. He turned the corner and he scooted down that sidelines with a lot of success.
Well, no doubt about it. I'm sure the Wildcat defense is keying on Tyler Davis. They probably got a linebacker spying on him, I'd say, the whole game. So that gives Strand a chance to get outside. There comes Evans again inside, straight up down, running that time. Only gained about 2 as the Wildcat defense converged, led by number 52 that time. I thought it was 52, but there isn't a 52 on my program, so I must have got the wrong number. But we'll try and catch some of these tacklers. We're more interested in the Falcons, of course, than we are what the Wildcats do, so we'll try and give you what we can of McLeod West. Here comes the bootleg the other way. One of the defenders out there again. Strand's got the corner. He's going down the far sideline. and again steps out of bounds on about 25-yard line, and again picks up a first down, so he gets good yardage on his second try.
On the left side, Don, as that play was developing to the left side, he needed one block to turn that corner, and he did get the block and scooted down that left side, picked up about, I'm going to guess, about 12 yards and a first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, the 69 for the Wildcats was in there, Garitano, but he could not make the play as he got blocked. Okay, here they come on the inside counter again. I believe that's fullback Gettle, and Gettle only gains about 3, I'd say, on the play.
You look at the defense for Goodhue. From the line of scrimmage to 7 yards back, even 5 yards back, less than that. They've got 10 of their 11 guys right on the line. Their linebackers are playing close, daring McLeod West to run. Well, you've got Gettle, you've got Evans up the middle, and you've got Strand to go around the outside. And so far, although they had 10 on the line, they still can't stop them.
Well, they got 9 in the box, like they say, and there's Evans bouncing it outside, gets by a couple guys, jolted out, but he was knocked out on the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up third down at about 5. We'll see if they come back to that bootleg again with Nathan Strand, their junior quarterback, at 6'3", 170, showing good speed twice, getting the corner as they ride Evans or Gettle inside, and then they roll out with the quarterback Strand, and it's been successful, and see if they come back to the wide side of the field with it here. So it's 3rd and 5, first quarter action with 8:46 remaining. There's Strand coming out. He lobs a high pass, wide open as the end down on the 10-yard line. Just floated it down there to number 39.
I think that's Baumgartner. It is Darren Baumgartner, a 6-foot junior, 185-pounder. And he is one of the ends, one of his favorite targets. He'll go to Brugman as well.
All right, so the Falcons now have a first down on the 12 as they've controlled this ball for close to 4 minutes. There they come back with Evans. Big hole inside. Evans breaks it all the way down, close to a first down. Gets about 9 on the play that time, as there was a massive hole on the right side.
As there was on the last play, or 2 plays before and this play, Evans showed his power. The kid's been in the weight room a lot. He's really tough to bring down.
I think he'd just soon run over you as run around you, the way it looks. So it's close enough. It is a measurement. But this would be a case here where the Falcons, it wouldn't break their heart if they didn't get the first down, because it'd be 2nd down in inches. It would just give them one more crack at it down here. Yeah, they only need about 6 inches, as you can see there, a foot maybe. And so now they've literally got 3, could have 7 plays in here to get the 2 yards.
I've seen a lot of backs in the Wright County. Pretty much have seen all the running backs there. We've heard of the running back Zachman out of St. Michael, Albertville. He was the top rusher in the metro area. Stifter out of Watertown Mare, a very good back. But I would have to say Evans is the most punishing back that I've seen. When he gets that ball heading up, he's going to hurt somebody.
Well, you don't get 7,000 yards without the ability not only to run around but also over people. All right, here they come. They hand it to Evans. Evans again shows his power, and he gets into the end zone.
Boy, the leg drive, Don. The kid was down. He's a pretty straight-up runner, but he showed a tremendous leg drive on that. He was hit, and he just kept the wheels turning, and the wheels brought him into the end zone for the Falcons' lead.
Yep, so they held that ball close to 4 minutes and didn't give it up there at all, as they went on the ground mainly with one pass completion in there. And McLeod West goes up 7-0 behind Evans' 41st touchdown of the 2001 season. Here they're going for 2. There's Strand rolling. He's throwing it into the end zone. Nice play, nice catch. I believe that's Matt Myers over there that caught that, number 14.
Yep, it looks like it is, the senior. Number 14. I've got Evans for about 34 yards. That was a real nice pass there by Strand. He had a loft that put some air under it, and he did that. He tossed it over the outstretched fingertips of the defender, and Matt Myers hauled it in for McLeod West's 8-zip lead.
I think the key thing on that drive for the Falcons, they established the fact that they are not a one-dimensional team, that Evans does get a lot of the publicity and, of course, a lot of the tough yards, but they also showed Gettle inside a few times, and mainly I was very impressed with Nathan Strand, their junior quarterback, during that drive. He had 2 nice bootleg runs for first downs where he made double figures on both of those runs, and then he had a pass completion that got him a first down on 3rd and 5, and then he had a real nice, perfectly thrown 2-point conversion as the Falcons go up then 8-0. So I don't think that Goodhue can just sit in there in that box like they were, where they were bringing up 9 guys close into the line of scrimmage, to stop Evans and Gettle probably inside. They're going to have to protect their corners and watch for passes. Okay, that's Myers kicking off down to about the 12-yard line. Number 3 gets the ball for the Wildcats. That's Jeremy Majerus, and he's hit pretty hard as he gets to the 25-yard line.
Don, I'd have to wonder what's going through the mind of the Goodhue coaches if you put 9 guys on the line, try to stop the run, and you still weren't successful doing it. Now what kind of strategy are you going to have to turn to?
Yeah, that's a good point. So I'm sure you'd usually say the defense is sitting over there talking about it, but on this level, a lot of the guys are out there playing offense too, I'm sure. So we'll try and pick up these Goodhue offensive players now. There's a guy going wide, stopped by number 4. That was Chet Lexvald, and 5 for that was Tyler Evans made the tackle out there.
Yeah, Evans goes both ways, as most of these kids do at both levels in Class 1A, I'm sure. Yeah. So they're going to be very tired at the end of the game.
Yeah, and it's a lot warmer in here than, although this time of the day, the crowds haven't been that big, but I know as the day wears on, it gets warm in here. Little crossbuck inside. Great play by number 4 that time. Gettle made that tackle. Boy, right at the shoe tops.
Yeah, the weather being a factor, although it has been a very, very tremendously nice fall. Yeah. Coming in here, it is pretty warm compared to what they're used to playing on those Friday nights. So the coaches had the boys at McLeod West running indoors to have them being accumulated to get used to the warm weather.
There's Bath, their quarterback, back to throw. He's got a man open in the flat, but boy, that was a completion to number 46. You get the tackler. Who was that nice tackle? Hench.
Yep, Ryan Hench. He's a 175-pound junior. Acclimated was the word I was looking for. It finally came to me. So hopefully the little working out inside in the gymnasium under the warm conditions have helped the guys.
Brent Both is back to punt. That's their quarterback. We'll see if they do punt it. No, they snap it short. I was wondering, and boy, that was a great play by... Boy, get the number of that guy. 55, Reggie Bosick. Boy, he slanted in and stopped that fake punt for a loss of a yard. Wow, that was a beautiful play.
It really was. And now McLeod West is going to come out of this just like, a whole lot better than they did last time when they had good field position here. They're coming out with the ball at about the 34-yard line of Goodhue.
Now they're in 4-down territory already. There's Evans over the right side this time. He's stopped by several people, led by number 83, Mike Henneke, for the Wildcats.
Brugman's coming out.
Yeah, that's where they change their plays a lot, I think, with Brugman and 39. That's Baumgartner. He comes in and brings in the play from the coaches from the near sideline for McLeod West. So we got a 2nd and 8. There's Evans again. Evans into the secondary. Evans is going to go this time. Evans gets it from 31 yards. Nobody touched him.
Boy, not only have we seen power bouncing off people, using his leg drive when he's hit, now he takes it up the middle, cuts to the left side, and it's goodbye, Irene.
So that tough defense of Goodhue that's given up only 1 touchdown per game finds themselves half a quarter. They trail by 2 touchdowns as Evans scores his 42nd touchdown of the 2001 campaign. Strand going for 2 again. This time he's faking it to Evans. Two guys come with him. It's a bootleg right. He's going to the corner. He puts his head down and bounces in. Strand gets the 2-point conversion.
Boy, I'll tell you, I wish I had these guys in fantasy football for the weekend. I'd give up Amon Green and Favre. Strand is playing exceptionally well. If he was in the NFL, his rating would be pretty high. He's 2 for 2 passing. He's running the ball well. And McLeod West is rolling here in the first quarter.
Yep, McLeod West rated number 1 in the state in Class 1A, and they're going to try and prove it to the Metro people up here who get a chance to see them in the dome, so to speak. This is every high school player's fantasy to get to play in the dome, and of course they're doing a great job thus far as they lead 16-0, and there's still 5:50 remaining here in the first quarter, so they could keep this up. They could turn it into a laugher, but I'm sure Goodhue didn't get here because they're a second-rate team.
At one point, I understand they have 6 shutouts, Goodhue does, so their defense has played pretty well, but McLeod West and Evans and the guys blocking for him doing a heck of a job.
Okay, that's Luxball again. Well, he's open. He could go unless Myers can get him. That Myers does. The kicker knocks him out of bounds, but not until he gets back all the way to the 44-yard line of the Falcons as they run a kickback. I think they had one run back for a touchdown last week against them, and it's one thing they may want to work on a little bit is cover those kickoffs a little bit better.
He had one player to beat going down the right side, and that was Myers. And Myers got him, knocked him out of bounds. Otherwise, we would have had a whole different situation. But he was knocked out at about the 44.
So good field position as Brent Voth, a 6'2", 185-pound quarterback, playing with 3 backs in the backfield. Number 5, that's Chet Lexball, gets good yardage as he gets the ball down to the 35, got 9 yards on the play.
Lexfold on the years, just about a 1,000-yard rusher. He's rushed for 986 yards and 8 touchdowns this year. An excellent runner for the Wildcats.
So he'll go over 1,000. He's close there right now. I don't know if he didn't get enough yards in that first drive because they didn't make a first down. So he'll get there on probably his next carry. Okay, this time it's a fake. One-man receiver out there, and he throws it just over the outstretched to Jeremy Majerus.
Majerus was open on that play. He got a couple of steps beyond Myers, but the pass was just a little overthrown out of his reach. Brent Voth coming in, he's completed 71 of 128 passes. A nice ratio. He's thrown for over 1,100 yards, and he's got 10 rushing touchdowns, so he's a weapon for the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats only sent one man down in a pattern. I could see that time, and still Vosick got pressure. Here comes Lexball again, trying for his 1,000th yard. He's going to be close to it, but Falcons do a good job of stopping him.
Their defense has played pretty well. It's pretty good throughout the year, obviously. A lot of juniors, a lot of seniors on the team. They're getting a lot of senior leadership. The 4 captains have done a good job. Good students, good kids.
All right, so here's he did get first down. He only needed 1 yard, so there's Bath, and he hands it to 5 this time. That's Lexball, and he is stopped right about on the line of scrimmage. That was by number 4, mainly the tackler. That was Pichata.
Running out of the eye that time. McLeod West coming up with a good defensive stand. So the Wildcats showing a few different formations in the backfield.
Okay, once again, second down, and here comes a wide play. It's being strung out. Lexball has nowhere to go, and he's going to be hit for a big loss on the play. A good pursuit by Evans and Pichata, and 38 also.
Well, boy, the running back in that situation, he looked like a tomcat in a soybean field. He was rolling to the left, and all of a sudden he looks up and he sees about 6 Falcon jerseys. I'm sure the eyes got big. Tried to take it to the right, and the birds swarmed him.
Well, from 4 down territory now, it's kind of shaky because they're back to their McLeod West 38-yard line now, and they face 3rd down and 16. passing situation for Bath. He's looking, little screen pass over here, and it was well defended. There were several black shirts right in the area, and he had to throw it away.
The defensive backs had excellent coverage in that play. He looked downfield. I think he wanted to take it a little deeper, but all his receivers were covered, and he had to try to dump it off. And I don't think his running back was quite ready to receive that pass.
Well, let's see if they punt it this time. They're back on about the 39-yard line, and Bath goes back to show punt formation again. This time they may have learned their lesson, and they need 16 yards, so they're not going to fake it, I don't think, this time, as Tyler Evans is back in single safety, and there's a low kick. It's going to be kicked out of bounds. Not a real good kick. He was aiming for the corner, and he didn't get it that well. I guess they do give it to him on the 6th. No, now they're spotting it up farther. That's what I thought it was up there. So right about where they needed to go to get a first down on the 22, that's where the Falcons will take over on their third series here. Still with 3:12 remaining in the first quarter, and the Falcons are up 16-0 in this semifinal game in Class 1A football action from the Dome.
Well, Osakis is ranked number 2, and they play Pillager tomorrow at the same time.
Okay, here comes Evans off the left side, right side this time. He breaks 2 or 3 tackles, gains about 8 on the play again. Evans having a good game, as are the Falcons in general. Thus far, things been going their way as they've been playing well on both sides of the ball. Their only letdown was that one kickoff return that almost went for a TD, but was stopped.
When you think of Evans and his 7,000 yards, it's kind of amazing when you realize that he also plays defense. He plays a linebacker. In last week's game, we saw him twice run down the opposing running back going down the sidelines. He came from the far side and ran him down. So if the kid could go out and rest, instead of being on defense, you would think that he'd pile up even more yardage.
Right, so. Well, so far it's been a very enjoyable game for the Falcon fans. As I said, things have been going their way. Mateso by good play. Line's doing a good job opening up some holes. We're high above the stands, of course, up here in the booth, and we get a good angle to see some of the holes on either the left or the right side open up, and the backs from McLeod West have had some gaping holes to go behind Benson and Reggie Vosick, and the center out there Getz. We'll try and pick up some of these people. Here they go again, straight ahead. That's Gettle that time, I believe.
Yep, the first man coming through the hole, Jeremy Gettle, a 207-pound senior fullback with the carrier.
Got a first down, yeah.
That's Jeremy's 3rd carry of the game. He's picked up about 11 yards today.
3 yards and a first down.
Solid blocker.
We'll keep unofficial stats, but at half they do get all the official ones to us, so we'll be able to tell you exactly what yardage some of these backs have. There goes Evans again, pauses for a minute, runs out of one tackle, stiff arms a guy, runs out of bounds, but not until he gets over 10 yards. Give him 11 on the play, first down again.
Well, not to be redundant, but again, you see his power. The opposing defensive players trying to tackle him, hanging on. Evans dragging him along for a little ride, giving him a little breather, time to rest before they finally fall off. And the next guy tries to bring him down, and they finally do push him out of bounds, but not after a first down.
Well, the first guy had a crack at him, and he had him by the foot. And as you can see, Evans lost his shoe and had it pulled off. He's putting it on there as Mark Schramm gets a picture of him out on the field tying it up now. But it didn't bother him anyway. He just kept running with that one shoe, and I guess officials are going to allow him to tie his shoe, and before they put the ball into play. With 2:29 remaining in quarter number 1, the Falcons are up 16-0 over the Wildcats from Goodhue down in the southern quarter of the state.
Well, Coach Newbarth and Coach Strand, they're a couple of twicky wabbits. You never know, they're going to all of a sudden flush out one of the Picada boys to the outside, and those two can scat as well. So he's got a few weapons on offense.
First down. Here comes the crossbuck back, and that's number 8. That would be, I think, 8, look like. Hard to pick up these numbers. Might be 9, Gettle. He gained about, give him 4 on the play.
Now Baumgartner is coming out and taking a little breather. I think the backs from Goodhue, the linebackers, I thought they were going to move back a little bit, but they're still really concerned about that run, as they well ought to be.
Yeah, they're in there pretty tight. Here comes Evans off the left side this time, and he is tackled at least before he gets a first down, as I'm sure Goodhue feels good about that, but it's going to bring up 3rd and only 2. They're liable to go right back to him, as he's a workhorse, as obviously he's carried it over 100 times in the last 2 games.
McLeod West has played a couple of tough teams, ranked teams in the state this year. Sleepy Eye St. Mary's, they beat in 3 overtimes during the regular season, 20-14.
Okay, they got the back set. This time they come with Evans. Evans coming right. Evans cuts it back, but he's dragged down by nice tackle by number 35 for the Wildcats. That is Nate Ryan, one of their linebackers, who leads them in tackles. First down, though. So now the ball's on the 43-yard line. There's still 1:10 remaining here in the first quarter.
And then, Don, to get here, the Falcons in their last game of the section playoffs had to beat St. Mary's again. And that was a 20-12 game, an excellent game.
Right, and that's the only time the offense has scored less than 36 points all year. So there's Picata that time. Brent Picata carried. That's the first time he's carried. He only gains 1 on the play.
Boy, when a team's averaging 36 yards, you have to have a heck of an offense to match them.
You bet. Sometimes they did get in some shootouts, but some of their scores were 50 and 44, 52, 52, 56, 60, 44. That's a lot of points on the board, and they're headed that way today rather, with 24 seconds remaining first quarter. They've got 16. There's Strand handing the ball to Evans. Evans breaks it free again, and Evans is gone as he goes over the same left tackle, and this time it's for a 41-yarder. He's racking up some big numbers again. He's had 2 games of 400 yards, and he's approaching 100, I'm sure, already, isn't he?
Unofficially, I've got him down for about 120 yards after breaking that one. They're in the first quarter.
So the Falcons scored 3 times with 12 seconds to go here yet in the first quarter. They'll be going for their 24th point, as they'll go for 2 points again, I'm sure. They lead 22-0. See if Strand calls his own number here again, as he did last time. Well, that's one thing when you put too many people in the box like Goodhue is, so to speak. They bring all those guys up. You get by that initial wave. Up there he has a little short pass. This one is complete again. This is 84.
That's Brugman again. He's the 2-point specialist. He and Strand really have a nice communication with each other. Again, Strand rolling to his right, taking his time, the line doing a good job of blocking, and he simply flicked it up and over the defensive back again. Excellent touch.
Well, like I said, I think that Goodhue's problem is they bring all those 9 guys really in there tight. They get a block and a seal on 2 guys, a hole opens. There's no linebackers or corner, and the safety has to come up. A lot of times Evans stiff arms him or just runs over him and has gone twice on the same play for long touchdowns here in the first quarter. So they may need to get back into a little more conventional defense. And like you pointed out earlier, John, you know, what are the coaches going to do? They thought they were loading it right where they had to stop the run, and they haven't done it at all.
Right, twice we've seen on touchdown runs. Evans got by the first 5 yards. Well, now he's got 2 guys to beat, and he outruns them or they can't bring them down.
All right, once again, Lexball get the ball. This is a guy that had a good return one time, still dancing around, and he tries to get loose, but he can't as he gets it out to the 36-yard line. Myers' kick was down to about the 15, so about a 20-yard return by Lexball.
Yeah, Lexville pulled a nice little move on, a little juke to the left. Went to his right, picked up some extra yards, but then when he tried to cut it upfield, there are 3 Falcons there to hammer him down.
Well, Goodhue's thinking, we got to get our offense going here. We got to keep our defense off the field. They've been out there the whole first quarter virtually, except for a couple short series, and Falcons prove they can move the ball against them. Okay, here's a pass by Vaught. He's looking deep, looking down to number 3, Lexball. Oh, beautiful catch. on the 33-yard line, as you couldn't do that any better. That was a big-time play there. No, that's not. We'll have to catch that guy.
Jeremy Majaris.
Oh, yeah, Majaris.
With a beautiful catch. That ball was perfectly thrown. Majaris leaping out, a nice fingertip grab and hauls it in. What a beautiful play by Majaris. And the quarterback put some excellent touch on. Excellent play.
That was a 31-yard pass. That's more yardage than they've got in their other two series together, as that time Brent Vaught, the senior quarterback, like John pointed out earlier, has some great statistic proving that he can hit. Majaris or Haneke, the other end, have had a lot of receptions during the year. So as this quarter ends, we'll take a break, and we'll be back for second quarter action from the state playoffs here in Minneapolis. Along with John Heitz, Mark Schramm, we're here from HCVN Channel 10 in Hutchinson to bring you semifinal action in the state. There's a ball handed to number 5, Ryan, I believe it was. Or no, Lexbald again, as he stopped right on the line of scrimmage by Reggie Bosick.
As you mentioned earlier, Don, a lot of McLeod West's games have been high scoring. They've been shootouts, but their defense is playing superb today. They are rolling a shutout up to this point.
Okay, 2nd and 10. There comes the ball to number 35, Nate Ryan. And he's only going to get about, 3 or 4. Give him 4, I suppose, on the play, as he is pursued to the outside. The end, Brugman was out there, I think.
Yep, Ryan Hanch was in there again. The 170-pound, 6-foot junior. Hanch bringing him down. So this is the best field position for the Goodhue Wildcats in this game so far.
Well, they're going to have to prove that they can get the first downs, as they were in this position once again, and the Falcons were able to hit them for a big loss. Long count, almost drew him offside. They handed it to Ryan, and Ryan stepped right on the line of scrimmage.
That time they had a couple of guys out on the right side. Looked like a passing formation, but they wanted to run it up the middle.
Yeah, that was Picata. He was right on him. That was actually a loss on the play. Picata playing a linebacker, I believe, isn't he? I have to try and locate him out there. All right, here's the pass by Vaught. He's got pretty good protection. He's going for Majaris, and Majaris has got it on the 9, and he goes in for the touchdown. Again, beautifully thrown pass. Same combination from that 6'2 quarterback, Brent Vaught, to the 5'10 end, Jeremy Majaris.
Yeah, that number 3, the wide receiver, he's doing a good job, Majaris. Good hands, and Vaught again, a nice tight spiral, nice air under the ball, lofted it out there. And his wide receiver, as we said, the senior, the 5'10", 160-pound Majaris, showing his athletic ability, hauling it in with ease.
All right, they'll go for 2. And they hand the ball to Lexbald, and Lexbald comes back, and he's stopped right as he gets to the line. I don't know if they'll give him, I think he was stopped, though.
Yep, the referee on the right side's waving him down. No good. In a lot of cases at this level, and even up to probably 3A, you don't see a lot of kids kicking the ball. And you would think that if you wanted to secure a position, start in 4th grade or whatever age and start booting the ball, because what a tremendous weapon you can be. We saw a kicker this year from Blue Earth, and he wasn't a big kid, 160 pounds, defensive back. Well, they're a dime a dozen. You're going to have a pretty tough time making it the college scene, but he's going to make it with his left leg. He come out soccer style.
It's interesting you say that, because I do all the Hutchinson ball games, of course, the Tiger football, along with my son Dave, and Dave actually said exactly what you did before. He said it's just Hutch had a fairly good kicker this year and a soccer player out for the first year, and he was a deep kicker and pretty accurate too on extra points. All right, here's number 4's got the ball, running the ball back for the Falcons was Nick Picata, 5'10", 165-pound junior.
Now, Picata took that one right to the south. He's a north-south runner, not a lot of juking. Shortest distance between two lines, 2 points, is a straight line. Picata brings it up to the 35 for good field position for the Falcons.
Yeah, usually that's what you should do on those kickoff returns, and then once you break through that initial, then veer one way, but he did the right thing. All right, here's Evans again inside. Evans tugs the ball as somebody tackled the ball that time. He's going to get about 2 or 3 on the play. Pretty nice play there by 69. His name was Garetano.
An Italian, Garetano.
Yeah.
Frank Garetano with the tackle.
He's made several tackles from his right end position.
A junior. 10 first downs for McLeod West.
All right, there they go again. Evans running straight up and down inside. He was going to bounce pretty hard. He's going to gain just a couple, 3 yards in there. He's going to bring up third and about 2.5. Give him 5 yards on the play, though. Got more than I thought he did.
Getting back to what we were talking about earlier, if you kids want to secure a college position, be a kicker. As we mentioned, the kid from Blue Earth, he was nailing them from 45, splitting the uprights.
Looks like some motion there. First penalty of the game, actually. It's going to be illegal procedure as a couple of the Falcons got off the ball here early. It almost looked like the snap might have been a little late there because several were moving. So that takes it from a 3rd and 2 to a 3rd and 7 or 8, basically, close.
It's been a very well-played game. Very few penalties, if any, on either side. I think that's McLeod West's first penalty of the game. One of their few, anyway.
Okay, Falcons come up over the ball with their junior quarterback, Nathan Strand. Okay, Strand hands the ball again to Evans. Evans got a big hole on the right side, and he slams out over the 45-yard line. It might be close enough for a measurement as it's right at the first down marker. Give him 7 more yards. See what the referees do here. Nope, they're going to single first down, so got the full 7 on it.
Goodhue plays in the Three Rivers Conference. They are, as we said, with a 10-2 record. They're coming in. Their last game against Medford to get to this point was a 13-7 ball game. So they had a close call.
Both schools are about the same size according to the stat sheet. 147 for McLeod West, 140 for Goodhue. There's Evans again, and Evans drops the ball, but they say he was on the turf before he did, and give him about 8 this time.
He was very close again, Don, to breaking at that time. He was hit at the ankles, and he was stutter stepping there, and he just about kept his balance and eventually was knocked off, but he just about took that one again.
So both those 2 touchdowns were to the left side. That's behind Bosick and Benson on this side, and that's a big line to go behind. There they hand it to Gettle inside, and he powers forward for a first down. He gets about 3.5 on the play, and so it takes it inside the 45 down. They're going to spot it right at the 43-yard line of Goodhue.
Yeah, those are a couple of big bears to run behind. Big Ben, 350 pounds, and he goes forward. You're going to go back, no doubt about it. He's a big kid, and they love running behind him.
Yeah, his feet look pretty quick. You know, I've been watching him. He gets off the ball.
Yes, he does.
And they go again, and they hand it. Was that Evans? I didn't see who had it that.
Yep.
Yeah. That time they got him for a loss of 2.
Yeah, I'm sure Benson gets a lot of dinners from Mr. Evans and Gettle opening the holes like he does. If he doesn't, well, I'll stick up for you. Mr. Benson, you deserve some dinners. You do a good job blocking for those guys, as well as Bosick. And the whole 9 from McLeod West. They have really opened up some great holes.
Both Bosick and Benson are just sophomores as well. All right, here they come again with a rollout. That's Strand. He's scrambling this time. He cuts her back inside. Only gets about 2 yards on the play. Lexvall claimed that he swiped the ball, but I don't think he's going to get anywhere with it. So he did come up with it, but I think it was after the play was over. No, that was number 3. That's that Majerus. I get those 2 guys mixed up. About the same size.
Excuse me, Nathan Strand did a good job that time finding the hole. He wanted to bounce it out to the outside. He made the right decision. It wasn't there. Of course, sitting up here nice and relaxed, it's nice and easy. to second guess, but he made an excellent decision there, bounced it up. That's the only place he could have went.
Well, this is a true passing situation. 3rd and 11. We'll see if Strand goes to the air. There's his bootleg play, good block to the outside. He's going to hang on to it. Evans blocking for him, and he's only going to get probably about 3-4 yards max on it down to the 40-yard line. And I think that the Falcons are probably going to have to punt it away, I would think.
Yeah, they're in territory. Their defense is playing well, but I guess I'd have to agree. They're probably going to have to get rid of it. 7 yards to go. About.
So we'll catch the punter. Myers, is it back? Or is it number 14, isn't it?
I believe it is Myers.
Mike Myers, okay.
Right. Goodhue doesn't believe. Well, everybody for Goodhue came up to the line. They didn't really think McLeod West was real serious about that.
Well, John Schilling, one of the assistant coaches for the Falcons, goes out into the huddle. I'm not sure if they did have a fake on or if they didn't have the right personnel on the field, but the Falcons had to take that's their first time out, I believe, of the half, and John Schilling goes out there to talk to the special team, we think, this time. We don't know. It wouldn't be the worst place in the world to fake it, but when you got 8 yards to go from the 41-yard line and the opponent kind of sensing that that's what you might do, you'd have a tough time making it. The element of surprise isn't going to be there. Like you said, John, they didn't even have anybody back that time to receive the punt because they weren't convinced that the Falcons were really going to do that.
Right. And I'm going to guess that they are going to boot it, but we will see.
Well, they leave Evans out there, I see, in that short position and make that short snap to him, although yeah, he could get it. That would just be a short one, but I think they're going to punt her.
Yeah, I think so. Goodhue's probably thinking, why should we go back? We'll just let it bounce, goes in the end zone. We'll take it there anyway.
They need a hop. They're trying to get down.
Oh, wow, what excellent coverage on the goal line. Beautiful
great
coverage.
We'll have to try and get his number, 38, I believe. Nick Picata.
I believe that was Brent Picata that knocked it down. Wow, what beautiful coverage by the Falcons. The ball at about the 1-yard line. What an excellent job. And Goodhue having a hard time containing the Falcons and their offensive attack, find themselves with their back against the goal and having to go 99 yards here with 5:16 to go.
So Goodhue is backed up against their own goal line. We'll see what they do. Probably something straight ahead. I don't think they're going to get fancy here. Long count. Well, they are. They're trying to surprise them. Just dumps it out. Oh, Majerus again, or Lexball that time. He gets it all the way out to the 40. As that quarterback can lay it on the button, boy, I'll tell you, those are nice passes.
Excellent pass. The coverage that time was not bad coverage. Chet Lexfold maybe had a 2-step lead over the defender. The ball had to be thrown perfectly. It was right there.
39-yard gain. It could have gone 99 very easily. That would have been a prep bowl record, I'm sure.
Wow.
At least would have tied it, and I'm sure it probably set it. So they're showing pass again here. Throw it out on the flat. This time he's drilled as the pass is overthrown to Mike Hunnicky. And Myers laid a good stick on him to let him know that he's back there.
Yeah, I'm sure Hunnicky is going back to the huddle telling Brett Voss, his quarterback, say, buddy, don't hang me out to dry. Lead the ball. Let me go to it. Don't throw it up. He did. He went up and he paid the price. That time, McLeod West's defensive backs were off the line a little bit before. I think they were looking for a run, and now they put him back off the ball.
I think Goodhue's figuring that they might have to pass the ball more than they want to. Here comes Ryan inside. He's stopped for only about 2 yards, as they haven't proven yet that they can control the ball.
There, the Jesse Mathwig, 6'3", 195-pounder, number 64, put the wood to him. He straightened him up and gave him a nice shot. Jesse Mathwig's a big kid.
Okay, so here's real important time again for the Wildcats as they face 3rd and 8. Passing situation for Bott. He's dropping back, not much pressure, throwing it over the middle, could be interference. Caught it anyway, as again he laid it right on the button to Mike Hunnicky coming across the middle for a first down. been really impressed with his ability to throw it.
Yes, and their receivers to catch it. Their passing attack on this drive has been excellent. That was kind of interesting there as Matt Myers tried to get his hand in to tip it away, and Evans came across and popped him.
First down again, just over midfield again, passing, sending two guys out. There's a pass. Oh, hit number 4 for the Nick Picotta, tried to get in front of that, and actually the ball hit the receiver, number 3. That was that Majerus right in the chest, but he might have been screened. I don't know.
Yeah, Picotta was very fortunate in that situation. He went for the interception, and the ball was over his hands. He missed it, and it bounced off Majerus' chest. Otherwise, Majerus, all he needed to do was turn around and scamper 40 yards.
Right. Okay, second down. Both again going back to pass as they've really opened her up here, throwing it long. And this time Myers is back there in beautiful position as they try and go deep again to the receiver, Mike Huneke, and Myers was in perfect position and he intercepted it for the first turnover on the 20.
In that situation, Myers had the inside coverage, and the quarterback, Voth, if he could have taken it to the outside, he would have been in business. But again, great coverage by Myers. He kept him to the inside, kept himself between the ball and the receiver. No place. It had to be a perfect thrown ball. It was underthrown, and Myers picked it off.
Well, it was a big play for Myers and the Falcons because, and here comes Evans again as he comes forward, but if they would have moved that ball 99 yards for a touchdown after the Falcons had pinned them deep, they could have got back within 2 touchdowns or a couple extra points in there. That would have given them a big emotional lift. So they're starting to play a little better, the Wildcats.
Yes, they have. That touchdown with a 2-point conversion would have made it a 10-point game. But luckily for the Falcons, Myers is Johnny on the spot.
Okay, so Tyler Evans picked up 3 on first down. Here they come again to Evans as he comes off this near side of the field. He struggles forward. He's going to be a little short of a first down as he gets it out to the 24-yard line. Needs to get to about the 25 for a first.
I saw a lineman there on the right side as Evans was coming through the hole. He was pretty much eyeball to eyeball with Evans, nowhere to go, and Evans just ran into him chest high and pushed him back.
So, third and short. See if they go to Gettle. No, they're going to Evans. Evans is going to be hit that time, and he's going to lose a couple as they were keying on him all the way, and the Goodhue defense comes up big again.
Goodhue playing much better here in the second quarter, as you mentioned. A nice defensive stop, and they're going to get the ball back with about 2:20 to go. Time enough to put some numbers on the board.
I'm sure the Falcons felt pretty secure there with just third and real short. They only needed a yard, but they were stuffed on the play for about a 2-yard loss, so now it's third and a long 2 as Myers back to punt. Nice snap on the play. There's a kick, real high kick. It's going to bounce on the turf. See what kind of a hop they get. So actually down by Picotta, should have let that bounce again because on this turf you can get some tremendous rolls.
Yeah, it looked like it was going into the Goodhue territory. I agree with you. Probably should let it go and maybe picked up a few more yards. Even if he didn't catch it, stand in front of it. If it does hit him, well, you'll take it there. But it looked like it was going the other way.
So Voth will come out with his team again as the coaches from Goodhue have decided that if they can't run it, they're going to throw it. They've been fairly successful. They still have 1:53 to go in the second quarter. They trail 24-6, but they've shown signs of life. There's an outside pass, 2 receivers in the same area, and they hit the short man. Actually, a pretty nice play there by one of the defenders of the Falcons, number 47, that was Hansch.
Tim O'Connor was the recipient of that pass. He was knocked.
They're going to call a hold coming across. They knocked one of the receivers off the ball. Not sure what kind of a penalty that is. It wasn't interference, so it wasn't thrown to him. So I think they're going to have to call defensive holding on the play. And in high school, I believe that's just a 10-yard penalty, probably from the original spot. Well, this game is being broadcast over HCBN Channel 10 Hutchinson, and they're making the tape available to all the Falcon fans. And if you call Charlene Taylor at 587-3113, the copyrighted tape will be available at a very nominal price, and I'm sure it will also be shown. I'm not sure if there's a cable outlet over in Broughton and Stewart that they can pick it up.
There is a cable outlet,
Okay.
but I guess they would have to call her to find out the details on that.
Okay. So we're bringing you the ball game. That was 10 yards from the spot. So a good field position. Again, the pass, they're running a guy deep down the sidelines, and that's Majerus. Whoa, hit him right in the hands.
Boy. Again, what a beautiful pass by Voth off the hands of Majerus. He had his guy beat by a couple of feet, and another beautifully thrown pass. The Falcons very lucky that Majerus couldn't hang on as he slaps his helmet in disgust.
Yeah, that was about 37 yards in the air because the ball was spotted on the 37 and then it bounced off Majerus very close to the goal line. It was a well-thrown ball.
Voth is getting a lot of protection back there. He's getting a lot of time.
Okay, second down. Again, trying to bring a little screen pass this time, and that was the guard. I don't think he could be eligible. I believe they're going to call the penalty on him too, as 69 can't be an eligible number to receive a pass.
That's correct. That's our Italian friend again, Garitano.
I wondered why he short-armed it like that. I don't think he wanted to catch it. I think he was thinking, what should I do here? And he kind of pulled off the ball, and for good reason, because he wasn't an eligible receiver. That was a screen pass, but you can't reach up and grab that ball either like that. Just got to leave it alone then.
Right, I think that screenplay, Voth would have liked to have just a little bit more time. The Falcons, with good speed on the outside, I think made him throw it just a little bit before he wanted to, and he took a pretty good shot from the McLeod West defender as well. He had the ball, his arm was extended, and he took a nice shot in the ribs.
Okay, that's looks to be a 5-yard penalty, and it's probably going to bring up second down again. This time I see they run in the junior quarterback, Nathan Strand, coming on to play a little defense, replacing Nick Picott out there on the defensive corner. As the time runs down in the first half, we're down to 1:28 in the second quarter. The Falcons are up 24-6 over the Goodhue Wildcats in semifinal action from the Metrodome in Minneapolis. Referee coming over to the near side of the field.
Looking through the lineups here, Don, Goodhue isn't as large a team. They have a couple of guys, one guy over 220, one over 210. So McLeod West probably has a little bit of size on him. And on the line, I think it's making a difference on the offensive line. The bigger guys from McLeod West, from the Falcons, are opening up the holes for their backs. Size making a difference. Football, I guess, it's a power game, and they're using their size to their advantage.
Well, now the Falcons have decided to turn down that eligible receiver downfield. It was only a 5-yard penalty. Guess they'd rather have 3rd and 10 rather than 2nd and 15.
Boy, you look out, you see a sea of red and black. Lots of McLeod West fans here, many more than Goodhue.
3rd down, Voth going back, looking long again. Got the guy, he kind of ran.
Ooh,
Evans
boy.
tipped that ball trying to catch it and almost tipped it back in the hands of Majerus, as Evans was in good position, but he didn't knock the ball down. He tried to catch it, and Lexvall almost picked it up, or Majerus rather, almost picked it up on about the 5-yard line.
Yes, he did. Evans went back and just about intercepted that ball. The overthrown pass, he tipped it, and much to his dismay, Majerus nearly came down with a reception at about the 5-yard line.
Well, the Falcons were in cover 2 defense there, expecting the pass. They had Tyler Evans back in the safety position. He was the second back over. I didn't see who the first defender was, but he was running stride for stride with Majerus, had him well covered, made him alter his route, and when Voth threw the ball, he well overthrew it, and that's when Tyler Evans tried for the interception and almost knocked the ball back to Majerus, which would have been a freak play, but one that happens a lot of times in football, of course.
Yeah, Majerus just about had a gift while he was laying on his side, just about landed on top of him for the reception as well. Well, we're down to 120 here in the half. Falcons on top 24-6. And I would say Goodhue is definitely playing better here the second quarter. The score may not indicate it, but their passing game has been pretty much on the money, except for the last couple of passes in this drive.
Well, I've seen a lot of good passers this year. We covered, of course, that tough Minnesota conference, all the games, and I think this boss just throwing that ball long has been about as accurate as any high school quarterback I've seen this year, because those aren't short passes. He's putting up 30-yarders, you know, right on the button. Falcons playing it soft again, and this time they let it fall incomplete. I think they could have intercepted that, but wisely let it go as it was a fourth down play, as their defense comes up big there, and they stopped Voth that time and didn't give him a target at all, and then they wisely let the ball fall to the turf with just 1:15 remaining here in the second quarter.
Again, a nice tight spiral thrown by Voth, but no receiver in the area. The ball fell, as you said, harmlessly between Nathan Strand and Nick Picata. And the Falcons take over. 1:15. I suppose they'll just grind it out, let the clock run out.
Yeah, they aren't going to get fancy here, I don't think. They'll be happy to go in with a 24-6 lead in the semifinal action. Here comes Evans looking outside. Evans cuts it up. Nice cut. Good stiff arm, and he's finally dragged down after a first down. He's going to get about 16 yards on that carry, as he showed a little zig and zag in there too.
Yeah, nice block as Evans was bringing it up the left side. He needed just one block, and he got it, enabled him to pick up another 10, 15 yards.
Evans, of course, running in the halfback position in high school, but he looks like a prototype fullback. There he comes inside again as he's drilled right on about the 45-yard line as he's stopped for a short gain, and we'll see if the Falcons take a timeout, which they do. I believe that's their second timeout, as if you get a picture of that guy in a red shirt, that's John Schilling, one of the assistants going out. John was an outstanding athlete at Stewart High School back in the period around 1960, as I was a teacher back at Stewart in 1960-61, and John was one of my students, a great guy and great athlete. In track, I believe he was undefeated in the 100, 200, and 400 going into the sectional meet. Never lost a race all year, as he could flat out run, and was a participant in the other sports such as football as well. So he's been helping out over there for a long time with their coaching, and I'm sure gives them some offensive looks, as he's a student of the game.
I have Evans unofficially for about 170 yards at this point going into the half. Unofficially.
Well, there's only 46 seconds. The Falcons took a timeout after they got that good gain on first down of 16, 17 yards. Now they're faced with a 2nd and 9. It's on the 45-yard line. See if Strand throws it here. No, they go into Evans, and he fumbles on the play, and the Wildcats fall on the ball for the first turnover for the Falcons, as some guy reached out just as he went through the line and jerked the ball loose.
Yeah, Evans not known as a fumbler, but that time he coughs it up. So we are going to see some pigskin in the air, I'm sure, with 41 seconds to go. It's going to be an exciting little over a half a minute, as Goodhue, I'm sure, with a strong-armed quarterback, is going to throw it, and they've got the guy split out to the left.
They put Majerus in motion. Now they virtually got trips on that side as they run 3 receivers downfield. Evans carry up. The receiver comes back for the ball. That's Majerus, does a nice job as they get it all the way down to the 26-yard line as he beats Evans with the pass underthrown. Majerus made a nice correction on the play and came back.
That was kind of a little wobbly duck in the air also, but it was a completion. Nice job, Majerus, coming back for it.
Again, there's a lot of time throwing it outside, and again picked off, this time down the sidelines, and he steps out of bounds. Beautiful interception there by number 47.
Ryan Hanch. the junior, with a real nice interception, and he was going down the left side after he picked that off. He had lots of daylight about 20 yards in front of him, and it looked for a while that he might be able to take it all the way, but the defender from the Wildcats quickly came over, and he wisely stepped out of bounds. But what a huge play by Ryan Hanch.
All right, Strand under center. See what they do here. They hand it to Evans, and Strand every time to go all the way. Evans comes back inside. He's going to gain about 6. That could run out the half unless one of the teams call a timeout.
Yeah, just when Goodhue could have gotten back into this game with a 2-point conversion, if they could have scored here. Ryan Hanch with a huge play, taking a lot of momentum, the entire momentum for the half away from the Wildcats.
So the Falcons do take a timeout, a little bit surprisingly with 2 seconds to go, but I guess they aren't satisfied. Maybe the coaches down there got a play that they want to try, a hook and ladder or something like that could go the whole distance. They ran the clock down to 2 seconds so that they just want to use this one play on second down and short.
No, the coaches of McLeod West, those two are a couple of twicky rabbits. You never know what they're going to pull out of the hat. For Goodhue, this is their second appearance in the state tournament. Their other appearance was in 1998. And for McLeod West, this is the Westies' 4th appearance under co-head coaches Bill Newbarth and Kurt Strand.
I think they're going to think second about it here, and they're probably just going to kneel it. Yeah, I think they decided no sense getting foolish here, and Strand just kneels the ball down on the 45-yard line. So successful half in there for the Falcons as they lead 24-6 after 2 quarters, but Goodhue showing signs of life there in that second quarter as they come alive with their passing attack, and only 2 interceptions deep in Falcon territory prevented them from getting more points on the board.
Yep, the sea of red below us comes to life as they stand and give their sons and neighbors and friends, students from McLeod West, a standing ovation as McLeod West heads into the locker room with a 24-6 lead at the half.
So this is Don Hansen along with John Heitz and Mark Schramm. We're here to bring you semifinal action from the Dome, and we hope you are enjoying this broadcast and can replay it many times over with the memories in for the Falcons as they reach semifinal action for the first time, at least in a long time. I know they had gotten into the quarters many times. So we'll be back for second half action after this break. In the second half, there's a kick by Myers. He kicks it deep down to 3, Lexbald, or Majerus, excuse me. Majerus coming back, and he's met by, we'll get the number over there. I think it's number 1.
That's Jeremy Wendorf.
Okay.
A sophomore, 5'10", 165-pounder.
Yeah, he held his ground. He came down in his lane. That was good coverage, and they stopped him on the 24, and he received it on the 13. Myers kicked, that is. Myers also helped on that tackle. So we'll get some statistics that we've got here. It's surprising that Goodhue only ran the ball, I believe, 7 or 11 times the first half. There they come again, as this time they try number 5, Lexbald, over the right side.
Not a lot of room there. It's going to bring up second and about 7, at least 7. Yeah, they ran the ball only 11 times. They picked up 16 yards. So the Westies, the Falcons of McLeod West, doing an excellent job of shutting down the run.
All right, second down and 8 as Brett Voth fakes. Hands the ball to the second man. That's Ryan. Ryan's got some room on the right side. He's going to be right at the first down marker before he's knocked down over there by several of the Falcons, led by Myers and 84. That's Brugman, right?
That's right. Well, on that run, Ryan just about picks up as many yards as his entire team did in the first half. Only 16 yards, and that time he picked up about 7 himself. The Falcons have rushed for 230 yards in the game so far on 37 attempts.
Okay, here they come wide. This is, I believe, Lexball. Lexball gets by 1, and he gets out to about the 38-yard line. He's going to gain about 2 or 3 on the play.
We had a little bit of the old Green Bay Packers 1960 style sweep left that time, but the Falcons sniffed it out, held them to about a 3-yard gain, as you mentioned.
Falcons suspecting a pass, put in Nathan Strand, their quarterback, to do a little pass defense here. They run trips wide, the Falcons do, 2-back set. And they crisscross and they hand the ball looking for the hole. Kind of a delay, nice play, but a good tackle in there by Gettle made that stop. He gained 3 more, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
We talk about passing efficiency. Nate Strand, I believe, is 2 for 2, and he has 8 yards, but both of them were instrumental on those 8 yards. He picked up 4 points, 2 extra point tosses.
Okay, 3rd down and 4. Up there's motion in the backfield.
Well, that's only the 3rd penalty on McLeod West. We talked earlier about what a penalty-free game it is, and for Goodhue, they have had no penalties.
First one there. Fullback got up a little early. Well, Strand actually did complete 3 passes first half, but 2 of them were extra points, and I guess they don't count in the official stats. So
there you go.
Yeah.
McLeod West on possession is nearly has a 2-1 margin, 15 minutes to 8.
Passing situation, pretty good pressure that time by the Falcons. And he still gets it out there, and it's caught by Heineke.
Heineke that time, he was open initially. It looked like he was waiting for the ball as the defender for the Falcons went past him. He then came back and waited a second time, and I thought it was going to be overthrown, but again, another nice pass by the quarterback, Voth. He does an excellent job. He's a good high school quarterback.
Well, I look for the Wildcats to go for it here. They're on their own 44-yard line, but they only need about a foot. One time the Falcons stopped him on this play. There they come, straight ahead dive, and that's Lexbald as he makes 1st down yardage on the play. Or is that Ryan maybe? That was Ryan.
Hanch was in there on the tackle.
Well, they maintain ball control. They need to hang on to it here. I'm sure they figure they don't dare give it back to the Falcons when they trail 24-6. So they'll try and make every opportunity in this half count. Split 2 men to the near side of the field. Heineke, not much of a rush. They're shooting Majerus down the far side. That could be interference, face guarding. He didn't turn around.
That's exactly right. The defender got past him. I think that's Majerus. That's right. He got past him, and Hanch never turned around to look for the ball. He just stuck his arm up, hoping that it would block the receiver's vision, and he drew the flag. Unlike the NFL, it's not going to go to the spot, so that's a fortunate situation for the Falcons, but it is going to bring the ball down to about the 38-yard line.
It's a 15-yard penalty, of course, but he might have prevented a touchdown as Majerus. Majerus is a nifty receiver as he's not very big at 5'10", 160, but he's got some moves, and he seems to have enough acceleration to get open on those deep pass plays.
Well, he's got 3 receptions for 87 yards in the first half and a touchdown. His longest one was a 31-yarder.
Okay, straight ahead. That time's a fullback. First time we've seen that play. Let's see, I can't even get his number on that. That was 40 on his first try.
Oh yeah, Tim O'Connor. Tim O'Connor is the player who earlier dropped a pass. That's the one that went off his chest.
So 2nd and a short 2. Full house backfield. This is a passing situation. Got a man wide open. Oh, beautiful play there. Coming a long ways was Myers to knock that ball away as I think that Voth waited just a hair too long on that, although he was rolling against his body and he had Majerus wide open.
Exactly right. Myers did a good job of closing quickly, but he had about a 5-yard advantage on Myers, but the quarterback, as you said, he was rolling and he couldn't get a lot of oomph on the ball. If he could have got set and fired it, well, you have another 6 points for Goodhue, but it's all for naught.
3rd and 1. That's the second time Goodhue has gone for it on 2nd down. There's Ryan as he dives down to the 25-yard line for the first down as the Wildcats maintain ball control.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of mixing it up. Unlike the first half where they were very content to put the ball in the air. They passed 17 times, did Voth. They only ran 11, but this time they're grinding it out a bit more than they had been in the first half.
Falcons a little mixed up on defense. They send 3 receivers out, throwing it deep down the field to Majerus, and double coverage back there that time by the Falcons as Hinch and 14 Myers were back there deep.
Yeah, that time the Falcons did a good job. As you mentioned, Goodhue sent 3 receivers tight to the right side, and the Falcons had double coverage to the spot where they threw the ball. Falcons defense bending a bit, hoping not to break.
Hey, there they come inside. That's Lexbald. He spun around after he's hit. Hinch was a tackler.
Yep, Hinch was in there. It looks like number 64 is at 84. Brugman gets up off the pile.
Well, I have a tough time reading the numbers of the Falcons from this distance. They can see Reggie Bosick and see Brugman's number. Been trying to pick up the nose guard in there.
I'm only going to be guessing. You've got in the middle, oh, there's Evans to the right side.
Okay, full house backfield. No rollout by the quarterback this time, and he gets pretty good yardage as he's going to be just a hair short of a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be real close. The opening drive here for Goodhue, they're marching down the field, mixing it up with the pass and the run. Number 55 is coming out of the game.
That's Vosick.
Reggie Vosick. All 265 pounds.
Yeah, they got him about a 9-man front up there as 4th down. Ball carrier stumbles forward inside the 15. Give him a first down. Pretty good defense, but Ryan was able to get about a long 1 on the play, just what he needed for the first down to get her down to the 14. And so the Wildcats are threatening here on the first drive. 6:06, they've controlled the ball for half of the 3rd quarter on the ground and moving it from their own 23-yard line, I believe, now down to the 14. There's a play-action pass, throwing it to the short man, and he's inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line before Myers makes the tackle.
Voth using a little play action that time to free up his receiver, coming across the middle, bringing it down to about the 5, as you mentioned. So a nice drive by Goodhue.
Majerus and Hunnicky make good receivers. Number 3 and 83. They're usually the man that Boss looks for. Here comes Ryan inside. Ryan scores from the 4-yard line as Goodhue comes back now to 24-12 with the 2-point conversion coming up.
Yeah, that was a really nice looking drive. They used a lot of pass, a lot of play action, mixed it up with the runs real well, and a nice impressive drive by the Wildcats of Goodhue.
6 minutes and 42 seconds on that drive. So that was time consuming, and that's what the Falcons need to do, is get the ball back and do somewhat the same thing. All right, 2-point as Voth comes up to the line. He's going to roll back. Got a lot of time, throws it out in the flat, and it's knocked down.
We have a penalty down, Don. Flag thrown.
They signal a hold on the Falcons. Yep. Defensive holding, so it's going to give them another crack at it. This time it'd be half the distance down to the 1.5-yard line where the ball will be spotted. See if they run it this time with the shorter distance.
Goodhue that time again flooded the right side with 3 receivers.
All right, so big play for the Wildcats. This time I look for him to go out of that full out. Yeah, they hand the ball second man through. He's struggling, but he's not going to get there.
I think coming off the bottom is that number 38. Might have been Picata. I believe it was. Brent Picata made the initial contact, or 39, Darren Bumgardner, one of the two. And he slowed them up just enough for his teammates to come and finish the job off, and they stopped him short of the goal. And that was a big stop. It's a 12-point margin. Otherwise, it would have cut it to 12, and who knows, if they do have a kid that can kick a field goal, well, obviously it would have been instrumental. Nice stop by the Falcons.
So where the Falcons have converted 3 times on 2-point conversions, the Wildcats have failed twice. Otherwise, if it could have been an 18-16 game if they had reversed those 2-point conversion plays. So they've been big.
How true. What a huge factor that is.
Okay, here's a kick. It's going to go wide, and that's Myers that picks it up on the far side. He heads straight back upfield. He's drilled as he gets to the 38-yard line. But again, good field position for the Falcons as they start their first drive of the second half.
The Falcons have had excellent field position the entire game. They really have never started deep in their territory. Huge advantage for the Falcons, and again, they brought it across the 35, staying out of that dangerous area where only bad things can happen. A miscue turned the ball game around real quick.
Okay, Strand hands it to Evans on a delay. Evans looking for room inside, plows forward, gets 5. What was his statistics for the first half, John?
At the first half, he rushed the ball 26 times for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns. His longest run was a 41-yarder. So he has a 7-yard average, and we have a player down for the Falcons.
And while they come out to attend the injured player on the field, we'll take a break and be back for action. Well, that was senior tackle Jason Redmond that was helped off the field there. He appeared to have some type of knee injury. I think he'll get a little time, and I look for him to be back into this game. So 2nd down and 6. Again, the crossbuck coming back to Evans. Evans plows forward. He's got about 5 more, so it's going to bring up about 3rd and 1. You know, John, what we talked about earlier, I don't think that Goodhue is loading them into the box like they were earlier. They're playing better defense. Seems like their linebackers are making more tackles now than they were before, and Evans is getting 4 and 5, but he's not getting those big ones.
That's right. They're staying back just a little bit to make sure that once he gets past that 3-4 line, he's gone.
This time they'll bring him up because it's only 3rd and 1. I look for Evans to get it again. Evans does. He bounces outside. There, that's all on his own there.
Oh, boy.
If he goes
it's
there.
It's a foot race. There he goes. Down the sidelines. He breaks the tackle. Whoa!
One shoe again. Boy, that was a play because they had him dead to rights 2 or 3 times, and he was able to bounce off the initial tacklers. I never thought he could score there. That was a tremendous individual effort by Tyler Evans. He was running with 1 shoe. You can see him coming back there. He's only got 1 boot on, and he was able to go down that far sideline, again catching Goodhue in that box with about 9 guys up front. Once he got by that initial wave, there's nobody there to catch him.
That's right. Not only do they have to be very concerned about Strand getting to the outside, if we witness, now you have Evans, who not only takes it up the middle, but he shows great speed when he bounced it to the outside. They simply could not catch him. Their wide receiver, Majerus, tried to run him down, and Evans pulled away from him. I have Evans for about 230 yards, probably a little more.
How long was that one? Did you remember?
I'm thinking it was about 45, 40.
Can't remember where they started, yeah. All right, 2-point conversion. There's Evans again. Evans bounced the guy, and ouch. Or was that Gettle?
That's Gettle. I'll tell you, Jeremy Gettle, I remember him on the playground. We were never concerned about Jeremy getting hurt. It was the equipment. That kid would run head first into anything. And there you just had the little bull come at you. 205 pounds up the middle, smacked him in the chest, stands and looks at him. That's Gettle.
Well, he cleated him, so they speak. The guy's cleats were up in the air after that play because he bounced him and never even knocked him down, but he knocked a defender backward into the end zone. Big 2-point conversion, so the Falcons are 4 for 4 as Evans has run for 4 touchdowns, I believe, and What do you have, John? About 230 yards approximately.
That's about right. The other guys rushing up to this point in the half anyway. Strand has run 5 times for 28 yards. His longest was a 12-yarder. And Jeremy Gettle, prior to that, rushed 3 times, 11 yards. His longest was 4 yards.
There's Myers' kick, comes down and bounce, taking a long time to pick it up on the 10-yard line. If the Falcons can get down there like they do. Nice tackle there by number 9 for the Falcons.
That's Jeremy Gettle again. Kind of reminiscent of that last play. I was thinking that Majerus might have difficulty getting up, and he is kind of shaken. It looked like his feet stayed stationary as Gettle lowered the boom. His feet didn't move and the body jerked forward, and I thought perhaps he was going to have hyperextended knees as Gettle laid a lick on him. But Majerus is all right.
I think the nose guard all day for the Falcons has been Darren Getz, number 66. He's 5'10", 197-pound junior, plays offensive center and nose guard. Got 72 at the far tackle over there. That's David Meyer at 5'11", 220. Wide is Lexball. Falcons trying to string it out, but he cuts it back and gets pretty decent yardage. Going to gain about 8 on the play. Stopped by Myers.
As Yogi Berra said, it's getting late early. Although we have about 3:40 left in the third, you're getting to the point where Goodhue is going to have to put it in the air, because if they don't, they're going to be playing into the Westies' hands. The McLeod West Falcons would gladly let them take their time and rush the ball.
Yeah, that was a big run by Tyler Evans. That put some space in there. Here they come back on the crossbuck, and that's Ryan, and he gets almost an opening to go all the way, but he's dragged down after about 10 yards by...
that's either Picata or Bumgardner.
Picata. Yeah.
Picata. That was a huge tackle. That was a nice run. Picked up a lot of yards, and if Picata didn't bring him down, I guess right about now the referee would be throwing up his arms. Big tackle.
Okay, here they come again. Bootlegging it is Watt, and he's going to get hit this time. First sack of the game, as that was 84, and I'll get the other one if I can. Brugman and...
I'm not sure who that was. Actually, on that play, I thought Voth made an excellent play by simply pulling the ball down and taking the sack, because if that would have gotten knocked out, he had no chance.
Okay, 2nd and 16. Falcons trying to mount some. There's a play over the middle. That time it's picked off. That's Strand, I believe. Strand will run her out of bounds. Wisely again. Not take the hit from the quarterback. And you can see why Strand goes in as a nickel back and played that one perfectly and picked off the third pass by Voth of the game.
Yes, he is. He's a quick kid. Stepped in front of the receiver. I would think out of the corner of his eye, Voth saw, I think, 84 Brugman coming around the corner, and Brugman leveled him just after he got rid of the ball.
Okay, Strand in there again, hands the ball to Tyler Evans. Tyler makes a quick cut out, then back inside down to the 30-yard line, give him about 3 on the play.
Well, Evans playing both ways. It doesn't look like he is getting tired. That's about the quickest cut I saw him make. He wanted to bounce it to the outside. It wasn't there, and he instinctively turned it upfield for a short gain.
Evans is the first 6,000-yard rusher in the state. Now he's the first 7,000-yard rusher, as he has 7,082 yards coming into this game, and he's adding to it here as he runs into his own man that time, and he's going to be stopped for no gain or maybe a foot on the play. So he gets it down to the 30-yard line, 4-down territory, down to a minute and a half in the third quarter as the Wildcats had run off a lot of time, and the game is actually, McLeod West has outscored Goodhue 8-6 here in the third quarter with the 2-point conversion after their touchdown.
As Hanch was split out wide this time, now Picata is going to be split out wide to the left, and they're going to run out of the eye.
Yeah, they've been setting that one up. Got one guy to beat out here, Picata, and he gets the first down as he's down to about to the 20-yard line as the kind of the end around or the halfback around on the counter as they sent everybody left, and he came back right.
Picada covered about 40 yards on that play. He was split way to the left, came around, took the handoff, and if he could have turned the corner, he could have picked up a little more real estate, but he's a pretty quick kid. I saw him against St. Mary's in a crucial situation, run down the sideline, and he can book.
So the Falcons can take their time here with just 40 seconds left, third quarter. They want to add to their totals. There's Evans, a big hole off the left side. He gets her down to a 15. Give him 5 on that one, 5 or 6.
Boy, as you said, Don, a hole on the left side at all fours. I look up, and here is that big Nathan Benson getting off the turf. He just blew somebody out. A huge hole for Evans.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Benson. As big guy as he is, he moves very well.
Yes, he does.
There's an injury on the play. Let's see, are they going to have to take a timeout or not? No, maybe just run the guy off. He just had a leg cramp, I believe, playing inside here. Like I said, sometimes you get those, so we'll stay right here as Goodhue sets their defense now. Falcons have moved the ball down to the 15-yard line. They probably won't run a play here in the third quarter as they're coming off to the near side of the field as the clock runs down. So the Falcons were able to hang on to their lead and gain by 2 as they go up 32-12 after 3. Anything, John?
Well, just a note, we talked about Benson, the size, the quick feet, moving people off, and he's only a sophomore.
Right. Well, we'll take a break, save a little tape time here. We'll be back for fourth quarter action after this break. HCBN Channel 10, Hutchinson, back at the Metrodome. Don Hanson along with John Heitz, Mark Schramm on the audio and visual work. We hope you're enjoying this game, and like I said, if you're interested in getting a copy of this copyright tape, just give Charlene Taylor a call at 320-587-3113, and she'll be glad to make a tape for you, and we hope you'll see it on the network as well. All right, there's Evans. Evans in the secondary. He pounds one man and then his own man as he gets down to the 5-yard line.
And he pounds the turf as well as he rolls up the legs of Hanch, Ryan Hanch. We talked about the sophomores that he's running behind, Benson and Vosick. That's 1/3 of a ton on that side of the line. And I'll tell you, I could drive my brand new van through some of the holes these guys are opening up, and I wouldn't worry about a scratch job. They are pushing people around here in the beginning of the fourth.
Now they favor coming left a lot. See if they do again. Yep, there they are that time. Evans bounces off the first guy. Look at him fight. Gets all the way down to the 1. Good drive by the fullback Evans, or the halfback we should say, running like a fullback. Might be his natural position as he's got such power in those legs, and he gets it down to about the 1-yard line.
Some of the other linemen that are doing an excellent job on the right side. Then you've got David Myers, a 220-pound senior, adding an awful lot of leadership to that. You've got Brugman over there. Darren Gens.
Okay, there comes Evans for his 5th touchdown as he scores standing up. Got his fingers jammed a little bit, though, as he went across. May have to come out. Hurts a little bit as he never got knocked down, but somebody ran into him with his headgear onto his hand or something, but he looks like he's going to stay in the game as they go for 2 again, as the Falcons have run up 38 points and again gone over 36 for the 10th time this season, or 11th time.
Trying to continue their 2-point magic. They've been very successful with the conversion.
There comes Strand looping it out. He's got his man wide open, and again throws it over there to, is that Picada?
I think that's Gettle.
Gettle coming out of the backfield, okay.
Again, Strand rolling to his right, taking his time, waiting for Gettle. Good blocking on that side by Gens and by Myers. Rolling to his right, waiting for Gettle to open up, and simply, again, lofting it over the defensive back, and Gettle hauling it in.
I don't know when, John, I've seen a team go 5 for 5 on 2-point conversion. That's usually pretty tough to get, but the Falcons have mixed it up and and really done well on their 2-pointers, 5 out of 5.
They've been automatic today, and a lot of it is pretty much the same pattern that they've been running. Strand rolling out, and simply lofting it in the air and letting his guys run under it.
Well, Myers will kick off again. He's been kicking it down to about the 15, maybe 10-yard lines at times. He's a straight-on kicker. Takes a long run at it, comes up, gives her a pretty good bounce this time. It's coming to the 15. And that's Majerus has got it. He's looking for an opening, finally waits and gets it. Looked like a clip over there, but nothing called. So gets the ball back to the 36-yard line where they have pretty good field position.
I would imagine McLeod West now, their linebackers and their D-backs will move back a bit to score 40-12. You would have to expect Goodhue to be putting it in the air. Time's running out for him here in the 4th quarter. They do have a couple of real nice receivers. We've seen Majerus, the quarterback, does a good job so that they do have the personnel to perhaps stay in this. But they're going to have to hurry.
Another halfback pass this time. Looking for the throwback pass. And then fool the Falcons as Four was there and made the interception. Nice play over there by Nick Picata. And he returns it back to the 31.
Well, a little trickery there as Picata steps in front. The halfback option there, try to throw back to his quarterback, and Picata stepping inside, turning the ball over, giving it to the Falcons at about the 31-yard line. And now the Birds are simply having a good time. Everything going their way. They can simply sit back and grind the game out, which they would love to do. That's the favorite thing to do anyway, is run the ball. And they're in the driver's seat.
Four interceptions for the, I don't know what happened there, but that was a fumble on the snap or what it was. It seemed like it came awfully early, but they held on to the ball at least, so I was going to bring up 2nd down and 10. But I was going to say that's 4 interceptions. Now they lost the ball.
Zach Olson is coming out. Nathan Benson coming in, rather. Nathan Benson coming out. Baumgartner coming in as well.
Well, Nathan Strand telling his dad over there on the sideline, the coach, he was showing him something, and his dad wondering what the heck happened, because I don't know what happened. It seemed like it was a premature snap or something. I'm not sure, but they get the ball right back anyway to the Wildcats, this time on their 30-yard line. And again, bought back to pass. Not much pressure. Throwing it on the sideline. Beautiful catch over here by Huneke.
Yeah, Huneke laying out with an excellent grab again. Another well-thrown ball by Voth. Voth, a nice quarterback right there. Huneke went out and got it for him. Well, with that turnover, at least you don't feel so bad. The hearts aren't pounding here. They're not racing. They're up by 28 points with only 10 minutes to go. So
another passing situation. Oh, they got a little heat on him this time, and 2 guys come through. I mean, they use a linebacker there. 38, I believe.
I'm wondering if it wasn't 38 and 39. Picata and Baumgartner, one spun him around, and as he got his balance, the other guy comes in and finishes him off. It could be 78 as well there. Jamison Johnson, perhaps. It's hard to see the numbers. But anyway, he spun out of the grasp of Baumgartner, who tied him up, and the other guy finished him off.
Big loss on the play, about 12 on the play. So now Voth again. Here comes a little screen over here, and he throws it away. Wow, look at that catch, though, by, was that Tyler Evans?
I believe that is Gettle again.
Jeremy Gettle, 5th pass interception. That was a one-hander.
There's a situation where, although Voth has thrown a lot of excellent passes, in that situation he really outgunned. Yeah, he really threw that beyond his guy. He's trying to set up the screen, and Gettle picked it off. Jeremy was sniffing that purple Viking sign in the end zone. He tried to tiptoe down, but stepped out.
Yeah, I think Voth was just trying to put that out of bounds, throw it away because the screen was covered, and actually Gettle made a one-handed catch. Comes Evans, he bounces off one, punishes another guy, and he gets another 5 yards.
That was the fullback Gettle on the carry that time.
They both do that.
Boy, they are. They're both punishing runners. That is one tough 1-2 combo. Both of them like to hit you. Gettle running out of the fullback spot.
Well, McLeod West is far from a one-man show. I mean, a lot of people feel Tyler Evans, and of course you can't discount the fact he scored 5 touchdowns and's got 300 yards probably. But boy, I'll tell you, they've got some football players. They got a lot of good ones.
Yes, they do. They like to throw to Brugman a lot. You got Myers on the other side. You've got Hanch now coming out to the left. They have a lot of skill positions.
Strand's a good quarterback. This time, Tyler Evans is hit for about a 2 or 3 yard loss as the 76 was all over him that time. That was Peter Burfine. That's supposed to be their best lineman. He's 6 feet 210, a junior. First time we've noticed that he's been that active, but that was in the pregame scouting report, their top lineman.
At one point in the season, Goodhue was 1-2. They lost a 1-point game to Plainville, Elgin Melville, and then they got beat the second game by Dover Iota.
Okay, here comes Strand by himself out there. He's looking for a block. He gets it from Pachata and gets a first down on the play.
Showing again his good speed, running to the left this time. He sees that hole quickly. When he sees it, he really bursts through. Great acceleration. And we're going to have an injury timeout, I believe.
Yeah. Again, that guy's got cramps. I believe it's the same one. And while they attend to him, again, we'll save a little tape. We'll be back when action resumes. That's number 40 going off the field, Tim O'Connor. He's a linebacker, running back, playing in there all the time. He keeps getting a leg cramp. Second time they've had to take him off as the Falcons have the ball again. First down on the 15-yard line after another turnover. I believe all their turnovers have been the 5 interceptions.
I think I'm sorry, Don.
Go ahead.
Another factor may be the turf being a lot harder than they're used to running on the ground, giving, and here they come on this surface. A lot of pounding.
Haven't been many injuries, just a couple minor ones, and then, of course, leg cramps really aren't that big. Strand running a little clock now as he hands it to Evans. Evans bursts inside. Going to get about 5.5, 6 yards on the play again as he continues to pound the Wildcat defense. I bet they get tired of hitting him all night at 215 pounds, and he's stronger than a bull.
I bet they do. He has that instinctive twist that you used to see out of Chuck Foreman from days of old of the Vikings. He hit there, and again he got hit. He instinctively tried to twist away from him. Very successful. He can do it. He does it very well.
Again, Strand running a little time as he watches the clock. It's down to 6:40. Hands it to Gettle. Gettle inside. Gettle spins. Never did go down. Gets her down to the 5-yard line as he kind of tumbled over the tackler.
Jeremy doing a little gymnastics act there. Just about did a somersault. Still landed on his feet and was heading for the end zone.
Close enough for a measurement as they have to run the chains out.
Well, players coming back next year for the Falcons. You're going to have Brugman coming back as an end. Strand will be back. Your quarterback coming back is a huge asset. Darren Gens will be back. That's a huge advantage. Then you've got Vosick and
Benson.
And Benson is back. That's right. Zach Olson, a lot of kids. Hate to leave some of these kids out. They do have a lot of kids coming back.
And of course, this extended playing season is certainly helping the younger players as they get extra 2-3 weeks practice.
That's right.
Strand watching the clock, saying let her run for a while. We're in no hurry. Okay, comes up this time to hand it to Evans. Evans breaks inside. He gets her all the way down to the 1-yard line. As this time they go on the right side behind the big blocks on that side.
Yeah, you've got Myers over there, their senior captain that we mentioned earlier. I believe number 68, it's either Mark Graff or Gens. Hard to see. It might be Gens at 66 on that side. Not quite sure.
Well, we're a long ways from the field, but great seats, of course, right on the 50-yard line, high in the booth above the up above the Metrodome. But it's hard to read the numbers. Strand sets his team. Again, he hands the ball this time to Gettle, and Gettle smacked in the backfield on first down and goal. He does not get back line of scrimmage. He lost about one as there was good penetration by several of the Wildcats.
Took a little while for that play to set up. Gettle coming across. He likes to run out of that eye nice and close to the line. This time he was coming across and took a little longer than he wanted to. And by the time he tried to head it upfield, the tacklers and the defense were there, no gain.
Okay, Ryan Hench brings a play in to the junior quarterback, Nathan Strand. This time I think they're going to get him for delay of the game. Took a little too much time.
Yep, that's what it is. With 5 minutes to go, no problem. Just give Strand a little more room to operate, that's all. And Ed Evans can pad his stats, and Gettle has an opportunity to stand somebody up again. So the Falcons are going to play the winner of the game tomorrow with Osakis and Pillager. Osakis is ranked second in the state.
Great program up at Osakis. They're there every time. Here comes Strand. He's looking for a block. Can't make it over there, and he just runs it out of bounds on about the 13-yard line. He's going to take a loss of about 6 or so on the play. Wisely, because the end on this side, 69, really did a nice job of stringing out the play. That was, what is his name?
Our Italian friend.
Yeah, right. He's tough.
Yes, he is. Does a good job, yep.
And that O'Connor, the guy keeps getting the leg cramps. He's in on a lot of tackles as well, along with Burfane.
190-pounder. Strand had no place to go. My wise decision, don't take the pounding.
Hands it to Gettle. Gettle just runs it back into the middle of the field like they were setting it up for a field goal, but I don't know if they are.
Well, Goodhue got here earlier with a shutout. They beat Royalton 20-6, 20-zip. It's a shutout. You're not going to get 6 points. 20-zip, they beat Royalton. That game was at Goodhue in the quarterfinals. And this time they're running into the McLeod West Falcons, and a little different outcome for them.
Well, 4th down and goal as they hand the ball to Tyler Evans, and he's slowed down in the backfield. He's going to be lucky to get back some of the yardage. And so on a drive that actually started near the 1-yard line, Falcons wind up with 3 losses on the play that time, or 4 losses, and it's back to about the 16-yard line. And not that it breaks their heart now, because they got a 40-12 lead with just 4:16 remaining. But the Goodhue team showed some of the defense that they were so reputed to have coming into this game.
A little late, but still playing good defense at this point. Fertile Beltrami, by the way, lost to Osakis in the opening round at Osakis by 2, 9-7. And Pillager bombed Cook County, 50-22.
Okay, up the middle, that's the running back, Lexvold, and he gets good yardage, close to a first down. I don't know if he got 10 or 9, but Chet Lexvold, one of their big rushers. I know John mentioned earlier that he's got a lot of yardage on the season coming in. He had, where is he here, Lexvold?
About 1,000 yards,
yeah,
986.
Guy, yeah.
That's probably, well, his other run was for 9 yards, so that's about the second longest run of the day for Goodhue. Falcons doing a great job on defense.
And the ball, I believe, again to Lexvold as he gets about 4. Surprising they don't throw it, but after having 5 picked off, maybe they figure, and they're basically a running team according to the scouting reports that we've seen, as they had rushed for over, I had it written down, over 3,000 yards on the ground out of their 4,210 yards. There's a pass. And again, over there, making the interception. Yep.
Yes, it is.
47.
That's Hanch, Ryan Hanch picking it off. But what you were saying earlier, Don, I would have to agree with you. If you're going to lose by 28 and time's running out, you might as well throw the ball downfield and you lose by 34 or 36. A loss is a loss, and granted it was picked off for the 6th time on an excellent interception by Hanch.
Somewhere in our program are the statistics, and as there's a timeout on the field, we'll take a break. I'll look up the interception record, and maybe the Falcons may have set that today. We'll see. here. I know they're in here somewhere because I read them. The Falcons now have the ball on the 40-yard line. They have intercepted Goodhue 6 times. We're trying to see if that is a record. There's a ball handed to number 1. It's a new runner in there for the Falcons. Bustler is a new quarterback for the Falcons. And
that's Jeremy Wendorf with the carry. Jeremy's a 5'10", 165-pound sophomore. Getting a chance. Lance Bustler is the quarterback. I believe that's number 42. Charlie Reddick is in.
Good experience to play on the turf. Straight ahead again.
That looked like number 22, Jake Maurer, with the carry.
Okay, so we're down to the last 2:45.
Mark Bumgardner is in, number 65. Number 44, Justin Kallenberg, 5'9", sophomore in the game. Number 42 comes in, that's Charlie Reddick.
Okay, so it's 3rd and 8. Straight ahead again as the Wendorf carries it, and he's going to be stopped. See if they punt the ball here, if they just run a little more time.
Brad During, number 75, is in the ball game as well.
I finally found the statistics here, and we'll look at team records. I don't know if they keep defensive team records. Most passes intercepted individually. Most passes intercepted 6 by Breck School in 1996. So the Falcons have tied that record.
Fantastic.
But I think you have to do it in the prep bowl.
I see.
So
again, I think that's 22, Maurer. Number 75, as we mentioned, Brad During in the game. I saw Brad During in a couple of plays, and I still haven't heard him speak a line. He always gets the parts of the mute, but he does an excellent job. He's a fantastic mute. Number 54 is in the game as well. That's Justin Olson. And I sure don't want to slight any of these kids, but it's hard to read the number. Chris Buckentine, I see, number 85, a freshman, 5'10".
boy, that's something they'll talk about for a long time, how they got to play on the Viking turf.
That's right.
In the state playoffs, so it's nice that there is this gap of 28 points that the coaches from McLeod West can run in a lot of players, and I'm sure that maybe before the day is over, they'll have every one of them in there.
I think that's Zach Olson, who just came out, 5'10" junior. Winding down, 1:39 to go. And the Falcons on their way to their first ever state championship. Next Friday they will play the winner between Osakis and Pillager.
I had a good shot at the co-coaches, Kurt Strand and Bill Newbart, there a minute ago, as Mark was able to zero in on them, as that top running back, number 5, Lexvald, still in there against the reserves of the Falcons, but he stopped after only about 3 yards.
Lexveld high stepping it, gets past the line of scrimmage, picks up his feet, and whammo, there's a couple of Falcons to meet him in midair.
I think that was Patrick Schutte that made the tackle on the play.
Number 88 coming into the ball game, Dan Ewert. 82 is in there. Patrick Schutte, a freshman.
Well, in the last minute now, as I think the Wildcats pulled their regulars out now and put in a new alternate unit. Not sure if the Falcons got 11 out there or 10 as a guy comes the near side. There's lots of subs. That's 12, a new quarterback in there. That's Brian Buck, handed the ball to Orion.
Goodhue being content just to run the ball up the middle, run the clock out. One more play. And a sea of black and red will rise. And
John
on
Hahn, freshman. Oh, excuse me, I just came in. Here comes the old keeper play by Buck. He's going to be handled. Flag on the play, one of the few in the game.
Patrick Schutte in on the play. Jeremy Wendorf as well.
Well, it's been a dominating game by the Falcons. They certainly were the better team, as the score proves at 40-12. They were able to control the line of scrimmage. They got good blocking offensively. Defensively, they did a nice job of shutting down the run game. During the second quarter, there were some anxious moments there while several of those long passes were either complete or close to completion. But really in the second half, outside of that one drive, it was all McLeod West.
That was a stellar effort from all aspects of the game, as you mentioned. The offensive line played well. The running backs, they got a great game out of the quarterback, their junior quarterback, Strand. On defense, the defensive line played well. The linebackers, the defensive backs, all aspects of their game was solid. They got a good kicking game out of Myers. They put it all together when it counted, and we're going to be seeing them on Channel 9. And I just... I'm happy for the community, the parents, the players. I know a lot of these kids personally, all of them personally. They're a great bunch of kids, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching them on prime time come next Friday.
Right, and that game, of course, will be, as we said, covered by Channel 9. That's the only channel that can cover those games, and that's approximately the same time, 10:30 on Friday, day after Thanksgiving. And I'm sure both the communities in the surrounding area, I know there'll be a lot of Hutchinson fans that come up because they're very interested in the McLeod West fortunes after they lost and didn't get a chance to play up here, and also interested in ACGC over there with Atwater Grove City Cosmos coming in with a high-powered team. They'll be playing tomorrow, and it certainly would be fun to see both McLeod West and ACGC here in the finals for our state championship. So the Falcons can do no worse than second, but I'm sure they're not going to be satisfied with that, as they're ranked number 1, and they want to prove it to the state of Minnesota that they are indeed the top team in Class 1A.
That's right, no doubt about it. They've been ranked first. They've come out of a tough conference. They've played the defending state champion Sleepy Eye. They were in their conference last year. I guess they haven't played Sleepy Eye, but Sleepy Eye St. Mary's, which beat Sleepy Eye, the defending state champions, they beat them twice. They're coming out of a tough conference. The Falcons are healthy, and area football is alive and strong. Last year, GSL winning the 3A championship, and driving through town, talking to a lot of people everywhere you stop, the word was, how the Falcons doing? Is everybody healthy? When do they play? And wish them luck. Well, luck has been on their side. Skill's been more on their side, as the Falcons are going to battle for a state championship next week.
Right, so this is Don Hansen, who's been here. We thank John Heitz for helping out, and certainly Mark Schramm for coming in and getting all the equipment set up. We've got to vacate this booth now for the next group coming in, and so we hoped you enjoyed the HCBN Channel 10 Hutchinson broadcast, and good luck, Falcons, in their state championship. Thanks for watching.